Welcome back, everyone, to the BD1P Binding of Isaac modded series. Today is going to be a random tainted character run for win number 1. Apparently, an episode number will say 326 for today. Anyways, your question is going to be, put your answer in the comments down below. What was the worst teacher you ever had, and what made that teacher so awful? We get this character, like, so often. It's a good character, but it's a little bit frustrating. Seed is going to be 343J7JDN. D's nuts, hilarious. For my answer for today's question of the day, I'm going to keep it very brief. I guess, but, like, a lot of backstory involved here, as there usually is with, like, the stories like these. But, you know what? No, I'm not going to keep it brief. Screw all of you. Also, double danger room. It doesn't really do anything when it's doubled, but, like, we could find out, I guess. It could be double rewards. It gives you a drop if you're really close to, like, being hit for a certain amount of time, like the Delta Rune TP meter. Like right there, you see that down there? It's like that, exactly, perfect. But here's your backstory, right? I grew up to be pretty Christian. My mom was a Christian. My dad, not so much. My mom kind of was the one who was pushing us to go to church and things like that. So from the ages of like 2 to like 13, I was in church like every Sunday. We really need to get that. It'd be great to have early on. And it was fine. You know, like as a kid, you don't really object to that kind of stuff. The worst thing is waking up early on a weekend to go to church. But as a kid, you know, like there are worse things that on your plate. You know, thinking about your multiplication test the next day. Oh my god, what an amazing first floor for us potentially here. So you kind of just suck it up and go, right? And along with just going to church every Sunday, I also went to a like church school, which is called REP, Religious Education Program. Really no key for us. You fight your boss for you say anything like, you know, drastic there. And it was every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. to like 7:30 p.m. And you would go there and you'd go into like a classroom at this you know, old like school, and they would teach you about God and things like that. I mentioned this school briefly in I believe it was the Steven episode a couple days ago. It had the Panther mascot going for it. Nice. That's not that great for us, but cool. There is a bomb and there is a key, and we could. I really want to guarantee. My hair is in my face. Sorry. I want to guarantee getting this 7 luck thing, but I also really want to get more options. So I'm gonna take a risk here, and I'm gonna walk into this room. Drop me a bomb or a key. Not a bomb or a key. This pill could do something for us. You never know. Tears down. LSD, that fucking blows. I'm gonna buy the key. Well, we have enough money for the bomb now. So you can go in here, and you could bomb for 3 more cents. Or you can bomb this and hope a key drops with it. KS Soul Heart, we got our money back there. I guess I could have bombed you and gotten the key. I don't know. We could have made a couple of plays here, because more options is great. But this is kind of the only way to guarantee ourselves that 7 luck, which 7 luck early on is huge. We're going to get a lot of drops out of that. It's going to be great. But anyways, this church school program was like ages like 6 through 16. Because I believe in the Christian church you get confirmed at, it might be 17 actually. I'm not quite, you know, sure on that. But either way, I was there like pretty much every Wednesday in my childhood. And like most after school programs, as a kid, you view this less as like a way to learn about God and more of like a social place. Like, I don't know, when it's the same with sports for me, where I will go to, I'm behind the ear. It's in my mouth now. I can't have that when I'm talking. Like with sports and things like that. Yes, you're in it for the product of like doing a sport. And, you know, setting records or whatever. But you're also there to hang out with friends, I think is like another big aspect of it. So, to me, in order to bear going to church school and giving up my Wednesday nights, no double drops, very sad. I would just kind of view it as more of like my friends hanging out and, you know, joking around in class all day, which it kind of ended up being like that, to be frank with you. Like, when you would get there, that's okay, I guess. It's park and enjoy, and I can't hate it. When you would get there at, like, parents drop you off around, I don't know, man. We'll say for this story, parents drop you off around, like, 5 or 4:30. You have, like, around half an hour. We already have homing tiers. It's not as good when you already have the homing, but you know what? Sure, I guess. It'd be a great run if we didn't have the homing already, but it's fine. You would pretty much have, like, half an hour to an hour to just hang out and, like, play basketball in the open gym, play soccer, go on the playground outside. There was a lot you could do there that I think was, like, just a way to keep kids interested in going there. Because at the end of the day, you technically, yes, can force your kid to do whatever because you're their parent, but it's a lot easier for a parent to say, you know what, you're going to throw a fit trying to go to church school, I'm just going to not take you then. And then this church school loses like a student and a little bit of funding, I'm guessing, for losing that student as well. So a lot goes into it. A lot really does go into it. And, you know, a lot of my close friends were also in it. Aldog and Merm from the 4-player file. Dude, happy Pride Month. It's really good, isn't it? Like, this is going to give us, like, yeah, it fucking destroys, like, everything. Well, we're going to have a bit of a steamroll. I'm going to drop the trinket eventually, but I don't want to be called homophobic for dropping it, so I got to hold it for a little bit at least. You know how it is, right? It's fucking liberals. But I really enjoyed it because, like, I got to get closer with Merm and Aldog. We made some good memories and friendships there. I got to hang out. In fact, I was asking to go early some days just to hang out with my friends. So that kind of shows how well they marketed that thing, because no kid wants to give up any part of their life to go to school again. Like, when you're a kid too, you don't really want to go to church. You kind of object to that. So why would you want to give up one of your school nights so you could be at home playing video games? It doesn't make much goddamn sense. Yo, nice payout right there, by the way. I'm gonna go one deeper. Okay, we got permanent damage. Honestly, dude, really, really good. We've seen everything else on the floor. Move on down. But by making it more of a social thing, it was really well marketed. I guess is the only word I can really think of there to describe this place. But anyways, every year, it was like regular school. You get a new teacher every year. Your class stays the same because you're all in the same grade. And the end goal of this school is you want to get confirmed when you turn like 17, which is a long process. I'll give that confirmation story a different day because there's a lot to that as well. But anyways, I had some good teachers. There were some that were really fun, some that were not so fun because you know how it is when people want to, like, spread the word of God. They can get a bit pushy with it. I'm not gonna lie. Again, I'm not trying to swing, you know, one way or the other on religion. I think religion is a very good thing for people to have. It's not for me personally, but I see the appeal, and I think it can be really important to a culture or an individual's, like, development. So I respect it. It's just not for me personally. And with these teachers, you had the oddballs, the ones that were, like, really more of a priest than a teacher, who, like, didn't know how to teach but knew how to just, like, talk about God. So you didn't really learn a lot in this class. I was there for almost over a decade of my life, and I couldn't tell you I do not want this. And I could not tell you why do you have the greed texture? Is it because you spawned in a shop? Very strange. What was I forget what I'm even saying here. This room is not cleared on the minimap. What are you talking about? I spawned in this room, dog. Okay, it's fine. You know what? It all works out in the end. But the worst thing came, I think it was like my freshman year. Oh my god, how is that even remotely okay? That was ridiculous. The size of those fucking balls on that man. Ridiculously huge. We had it with this one teacher, my freshman year. A tainted item room. Wow. It's gonna probably take Spoonbender away from me. That, everyone was kind of iffy on. And for good reason, obviously. Borkbender. Reverse. Okay, so we already have homing tiers. This is kind of actually pretty good. Chance to reverse direction and become a homing tier. So, sure, we'll take that. I don't know what it's going to do for us, but it might be really good as the time goes on. And this teacher was not just like a Christian trying to teach the word of God. They were also a military, like they used to be in the military. And she was so adamant about her military background. She made us, instead of calling her like Miss, her last name, I'm gonna say her last name was King. She made us call her Lieutenant Colonel. First name, not gonna say her first name, obviously, then King, which is a little bit pretentious. I get, you know, you are very proud of your military background, but like, I don't want to have to call you Lieutenant Colonel in a fucking after-school church program. It's a little bit weird. I might be in the wrong there, but it is a little bit weird. I'm hoping you guys can agree with me on that front. And she was harsh. Like, she had her moments of being somewhat fun. This Pride mini-boss is getting out. So is my hair. You know what, dude? Fuck this. Headband's going back in. It's gonna look goofy, but my hair is so itchy. I gotta get a haircut. I'm gonna get a haircut very soon, mind you. But there were moments of her, you know, being fun. Like, we did like a Jeopardy, you know, Jesus bingo one night. But most of the time, she was very, like, tough as nails kind of lady. Like, if you were, you know, dicking around in her class, she would, like, stop the class, look you directly in the eye, and be like, do you think Jesus fooled around? And it would make you feel, like, kind of awful. Like, fuck you, man. Like, I'm sure he did have some fun with his friends occasionally. Also, I want, like, everything here. These are all insanely good. Red matter gives you, like, brimstone swirl shots that, I guess, target this mini-boss, which might lead to complications and down the road. So, I may have to drop this, the pride flag here. I feel bad, but I think I have to drop the pride flag. Are you a wizard? Thank you for this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to drop the pride flag. I'm sorry, gamers, but no pride within this month for me, I guess. Sorry. She was awful, though. Like, I'm trying to think back of, like, all of her terrible things she did, and the list just gets higher and higher every single time. But to illustrate my point a little bit better, I guess, there was a moment where me and my friend Sam were in the back of class, like, just talking the entire time because, like, we didn't really give a shit about the lesson being taught. And she, like, stopped talking. You know when you're talking to your friend in school and you don't notice that the entire class has gone quiet and is, like, looking at you because you're so involved in your own conversation? That was kind of what happened here. We were just, like, joking around. We might have been even talking about fucking Isaac. Who knows? And the class, like, goes quiet. And we notice and we're like, what's going on? And she goes, what are you guys talking about back there? And we were just like, oh, we're just kind of, like, talking. She goes, you want to share? And we're like, not really. And she goes, you know, sharing is good. Jesus shared. And we're like, yeah, he probably did. Like, I don't know what the lesson was saying that is. You know, we can not do that because I want to keep my luck stat, like, super, super high. And she ended up, like, keeping the class, like, quiet for 5 minutes, just kind of, like, staring at us. It was supposed to be, I think, an intimidation thing because, like, she was in the military, but it wasn't scary as much as it was, like, awkward. Like, lady, you're pushing, like, 60 soon. You might be a been in the military. You could not take us in a fight. If it came down to that in that class, like, me and my you know, track hurdling self could have ran laps around this fucking lady. But I guess to her it was more of a mental game standoff there. And when the class resumed, like, I felt more inclined to talk again because I was like, how far can we push this lady to just, like, be a dick again to us? We didn't obviously do that because that would be very, very rude and not okay, but, like, it's kind of just like a stick it to the man kind of thing. If she's gonna be, like, a bitch to us about, like, having a conversation in class that she's not even good at teaching, I mean, I can fire back a little bit, I think. And I wasn't the kind of kid to fire back. I was a goody two-shoes in school, never talk back, just do your work and, you know, keep your head down. That was me. But I don't know. She brought out, like, just this weird urge in me to, like, just, like, talk back to her. Because, like, she was so high and mighty about how she was a great teacher, how she was in the military, how she believes in God. Like, I don't know, lady. You're striking me as trying to compensate for the fact you don't actually, like, do anything good with your life. A kind of generalization there, but you'll see as we get further on, like, the shit that she would pull with us. But anyways, like, that year goes by slow because, again, she's our teacher. And when we finally get out of that freshman year of REP, it's like the fucking sky is opened up. I can grab this. See, look how good I am with this game. I can grab that very easy. And we were all just so grateful to be out of that fucking class, right? And we get an email from our teacher the next year. Like, and he was like, hey, we don't have a lot of funding this year because not a lot of parents are putting their kids in this church school program because as generations get older and older, religion starts to phase out a little bit more and more each day, just how it goes. And he was like, in order to keep a lot of money in the budget, we cannot afford to hire any new teachers, so you're going to have the same ones you had last year, and I'm going to fill in, like, the principal for the newer grade. And hearing that with, Colonel King being our last teacher was heartbreaking. And my entire, like, grade, we were talking, like, in, like, our actual school one day, and we were like, this fucking blows. Like, she was already the worst, and now we got to have her again, and she already knows how awful we are. Like, the thing is with teachers like that is, especially subs, like, I gotta add to this too, because, like, just to put it in perspective, these teachers were not teachers. They were just, like, congregation members who happened to be teaching our church school. I'm gonna buy this easily. So, like, she was not, like, a licensed teacher. So she didn't know what she was doing, primarily. And because of that, instead of her being dedicated to learning, she kind of became, like, dedicated just to getting, like, a one-up on us, like, trying to make us, like, feel bad for misbehaving and shit like that. And we had not ended off our last year on the best note. Like, as we left, we were kind of just like, this lady fucking sucks, get me out of this class. And she knew our attitude was like that. And I don't think she thought it was because of her. I think she assumed it was just kids being kids, and she was a great teacher, but looking back, obviously not the case. So we were all kind of nervous, like, man, if she hates us this much, it's going to be really, really, really hard to go back into school where she already is going to have a grudge against us. But we can't change that fact, so we kind of just had to, like, live with it. The school year starts. It's sophomore year, in the same building, in the same classroom with this same lady. And she walks in on the first day. That was my dumbest maneuver. That might have been even worse in Isaac ever. And she walks in. Pretty giddy, like, as she's like, oh, it's the first day, guys. We're going to have a nice brand new start to the year, throwing last year away. Don't worry about it. We're like, okay, she's in a much better mood this year. And we will come to find out later, but that was because the principal of the school thought she was amazing, and she pretty much had, like, full immunity to being, like, fired or whatever, and she was becoming more of a committed part of our community. Like, she was a pretty decent sized name when it came to talking about our church. So, like, she was becoming more well known and becoming, I guess, in her mind, that was really good, more Christian, which sucked for us. And she started off our year with a test. And those of us who did good on the test, like, i.e. paid attention last year, would get put in a... Why did I not, like, buy Steam sale first? My brain is fried right now. Those of you who passed the test would get into a higher echelon where you would learn about, more intricate stuff in the Bible. Which was weird because, like, you didn't really learn a lot in church school. Like, they would give you lessons, like, we're talking about Noah's Ark today or some shit. But, like, you wouldn't really learn. You would keep it in your mind for that class, and then, like, it would never come up ever again. There was no being held back or anything like that. It was just, that's how it was, I guess. But she was changing that. Where now, like, your test score, it mattered. Which fucking blows, man. Like, why do I want my after school hours test score to matter? But I digress. I passed my test pretty well. Because I had known a lot about Christian mythology from just, like, reading books. And I actually do think the Bible is, like, a very good read. I've read it a couple of times. Not like, a fanatic about it. But I have read the Bible a couple of times. And I actually enjoyed whatever was in it. Just because I think it's a fun story to read through. But my friends were not so lucky. One of I think it was Aldog, also passed the test. Aldog's just a very naturally smart guy. So he passed the test pretty easily. I think Merm might have as well. Merm might have actually failed. I don't know. Because Merm is not a very good Christian boy, mind you. He's very nice. He's a very naughty guy. I'm joking about that. But we were kind of like split into two groups, like the good Christians and the bad Christians, I guess you can call them. Which blew because like now it was the social aspect of the class was now cut in half, making us like less incentivized to want to like still go. And of course we're still like under our parents' jurisdiction, so we kind of like have to go. You just do random shit, don't you? Essence of Isaac. Rolls a passive item of your choosing. What do we not want anymore? We can roll a danger room. How do I get to danger room? There we go. There we go. And we can get X-ray vision or different tier effects. I'm going to go for X-ray vision. Sounds good enough to me. It's a very fun little card you have down there. But, like, the social aspect is gone. She's very, like, on her high horse about being a big community member now. It's getting kind of on our nerves. So we start, like, fooling around more to kind of, like, stick it to her. We start going on our phones in class, and she has to take them away eventually. Like, we're trying to make life really hard for her because she just sucks that much. And I do not condone doing this, by the way. This is a very bratty thing to do, but in the moment, it felt right. So, eventually, she kind of, like, cracks. This is right around Christmas time. And she knows in order to, like, stop this tomfoolery once and for all, she has to do something. I wanted to get that middle guy, but I guess not. Decently drastic. Because if we are left, you know, alone to our own tomfoolery constantly, it's going to make the class really hard for her. And what she does next could honestly constitute, like, abuse. And I'm not even using that term lightly. Like, the kids were bleeding at this moment in class. So, she wants us to play the role of Jesus. And she wants to know just how bad Jesus suffered. She wants us to realize that he died for our sins. Like, we already all fucking know. We've been in this school for almost a decade at this point. And this is her plan for that. She gets, how do you describe this? Like a crown of thorns, like an actual, real, I can make boss rush, hold the phone, crown of thorns. Well, it's not real, it's like, it's a metal, like, wire with, like, spikes on it. They're not, like, intentionally sharp, they're pretty dull, but it still is spikes, end of the day. And she goes around and takes turn in the class, putting the crown of the martyr on our head. And not just, like, resting it there. Like, she pushes it down. She pulled a little bit of my hair out doing it. And she made my friend Abigail in the class. Like, her scalp was, like, bleeding when she got it taken off. And we were all kind of, like, taken aback. Like, how the fuck is somebody allowed to do this? Like, that's child abuse, right? So my mom picks me up from, like, the school. And I tell her, like, hey, like, this teacher just fucking, like, put a crown of thorns onto our head and forced it down. Oh, we have bad PhD and PhD. Oh, we lost luck. We gained some tears and some nice damage there, though. Pretty decent. I guess you pop this now just for fun, and you go make it to your boss rush so you can go to boss rush. And my mom was like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, she, like, put a fucking crown of thorns onto our head, and that was her entire lesson. There was no point to it. There was no, like, central message. It was just, like, Jesus suffered, and now you guys have to, too. Please get this guy. The guys, we can pop that right now. And that's pretty fucked up. So, rightfully, a lot of parents complain to the school, like, hey, like, this teacher is apparently, like, you know, like, genuinely hurting our kids. She shouldn't be allowed to teach this class anymore. Because that's fucking, again, that's like, if you're a teacher making a kid bleed, that definitely violates, like, some kind of law, correct? So, like, eventually it makes its way back to the principal of the school, who is a great guy, by the way. This guy was very, very fun to be around. His name was Ray. And Ray hears these, and he doesn't believe it, because he's like, there's no way she would do that. Like, she's, you know, a great Christian, right? So, like, nothing gets done. He doesn't believe it, and I guess there is no, like, evidence besides, like, a couple of, like, marks on somebody's head, but still, that should be plenty enough. Oh, these are all, like, really bad. I guess that's not terrible to use the Fool card for, but it's kind of just, like, not... Wow, great. That was... You know what? Make the best of it. Make the best of it. Use your Polaroid card right here. Use it again. You know, you make the best of this moment as well. Look at that, dude. Things always tend to work out for me in those situations. Go into here, grab this, and move on down. But what happened next? Like, nothing happened to her, and we all came to class like because it was Christmas break. We came to class like a month later when we were back, and she was like, "Oh, you know, how's it going, class?" And we're all kind of like scared of her now because she just put a fucking crown of thorns on our head not even a month ago. And we're done retaliating. Like, if she can get away with fucking, like, making us, like, physically bleed, we probably can't do too much else to, get her out of business here. So we're kind of just, we're complacent now. We can't do anything, and she knows that. Oh, she 100% knows that. I could have gotten a red heart back there, you fool. So we kind of just got to stick it out. And I think church school, like, ends... I want to say around like May, a little bit before like actual school ends, and I think it was like 2 sessions before school is over. There's a sub in her place, and she's never missed a singular day. Also, this is the worst pathing. There's a fucking poop down. I didn't even see it. It's all just red. And she has never missed a day of class before. And we asked this sub, like, where's, you know, Lieutenant Colonel King? And she's like, well, she's not going to be here the rest of the year. She has into it, like, some private matters to attend to or some shit. And I'm pretty sure, like, the parents pressured the principal enough to be like, I'm going to take my kid out of this program if this lady is still teaching. So Ray, the principal, like, took her out the rest of the year. She came back the next year. Was thankfully not my teacher again, but she did come back the next year. Continuing to teach future generations. But I guess to a certain extent, we kind of won that battle. But she was, like, between just, like, trying to embarrass her students in front of the class for talking, like, putting a fucking crown of thorn on your head, just being an overall jackass to everybody. Like, I don't know. She should not have been allowed to teach. That's, like, my full analysis there. It was definitely a deserved, like, leave she was on. Also, I'm not going to fight these rooms because our damage is not very good. We do have the brimstone thing going on, which is really good for a room like where they're all clumped together like this, but where they're all spread out and like big enemies and shit like that, it's really not worth trying to fight through it. But like that right there was lovely. We get some HP back here, which is also not bad. We lose more luck, we gain more damage though, and shot speed apparently. We can pop that for smaller enemies. The run's going great. This is a very good run. Red matter is... It's not here? Huh. I guess it's gotta be like down, and it hooks like left and like two spaces down. Yeah, I guess it is. That's a very strange floor. What a weird floor to look. Look at this floor, man. Ay, ay, ay. I guess at least we found our super secret room out of all of this, right? Goodbye. Rainbow chest, huge. Holy shit, what are these? Oh, what are you? Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's okay. Sure. Let's see what's going on down here. I'm not gonna take an Archie right now. This is not the run I want to Archie on. I kind of just want to get some like big boy DPS and some good thumbnail shots. So in order to do that, you have to find obviously Sacred Heart. But I don't know what I kind of want to go for Stairway again, man. Because every time you want to get Stairway, like it's always blocked. There's a Mimic down here. I don't even want to fuck with that right now. it's always blocked by something else. So I do want to find an unblocked stairway. But we're looking in what I believe to be is all the wrong places. I don't see any repentance items up here. So it's got to be down more, I think. But no, she deserved to be on leave for that and a lot of other things she did. And I'm sure if I could go back and like talk to my past like kids in high school, right? I shouldn't say kids, my friends in high school, they would be able to give me some more insight into more things that happened, because like at a certain point in that class, we just started ditching it. Like me and my two like closest friends would just like get dropped off, and then when our parents leave, we'd walk into town, which town was not super far away. Hey, it's not in here. So you could walk like 10 minutes and be in town, and you could walk back when you're done being in there. It's gotta be in here. I see a lot of weird items, but nothing like repentance. Bro, where the hell is this stairway at? It's a lot of cool looking stuff up there. I could take anarchy, I guess, but we're kind of late in the run for anarchy to really matter. No. No. Okay, afterbirth stuff. Still nothing. This should have stairway in it. 100%, dude. I do see Archie, mind you, but I'm not going to go for Archie. How the fuck is stairway not in this room? Dog, this is like the most stairway room of all time. Not in here either. Bro, oh my god. This is like gonna be a whole half an hour of a floor by itself. There it is. It was down here the entire time. I'm taking stairway for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think that we could go for Sacred Heart, or we could go for multiple angel items. Does this spawn in your first room? Where did we start on this floor? Like right here? Right here? It was right here, but there's nothing there. Okay. We're only on Utero 1, so we have some more stuff to do. Grab this back, and then go fight your boss. Either way, we're going to have a stellar run, hopefully, here. A lot of money for Stairway 2. As long as we get one good angel item, I will think my play was good. Also, we have, like, white. Oh, we have Spider Bite tiers. That's why my thing is white right now. I wish my, my Brimstone Beam would not go off till the enemy is, like, near it. There we go. Perfect. And for a Devil Deal, we hopefully get... Yup, we get... Are we Guppy? I know we have one Guppy part. I believe we only have that one. What is this? Black powder, don't really care for it. I'm going to take it either way. We are one away from being Guppy, which makes me kind of want to go a little bit deep on this to get maybe an extra devil item here, but it is probably not going to happen. I'm going to go 2 more. 1, 2. Again, damage is fine. All right, keep moving on to get Stairway next floor. It's going to be a very, very lovely Sacred Heart Godhead combo in there. Just trust me, dude. I know these things super well. Hey, I still... Eden Soul? Yo. We get even more angel items out of that. We're still paying it forward, apparently, as the run goes on here. But that's decent. I'm not mad about that whatsoever. We get even more angel items going forward here. Great. But to end off our story here, I guess, we started ditching class after a while because, like, she was such an awful teacher. And I was not the kind of kid to ditch class up until, like, middle of high school, when I started doing it pretty commonly, actually. Whenever I didn't need to go to class, I just kind of, like, go to the library and just chill the entire time because they didn't know any better where I was. No, I'm okay. We'll just go down and hopefully... Oh, a cursed room down here. What is this? I mean, that just sounds like good with no downsides. A moderate boost to all your stats until you get hit. It's very moderate. They were right about that, but it's still fine. And we'd walk into town and just hang out, like, in the town square. And then when it was, like, time to go back, we'd walk back. We'd kind of hang... Like, we'd walk slow so we'd get there right on time before any parents would get there. And we'd go, like, sit on the side of the school where there were no windows, so no teachers saw us, like, outside. And then Parents would come pick us up and we were all good. Because attendance obviously did not matter in this school. Like, it's an after-school program. They had really no reason to take attendance. So, like, why would they waste their own time doing that if it doesn't matter to the kids or the parents that much either? Reverse world card. Hello, brother. Nothing up here. I'm just trying to go to my boss fight like as fast as I can right now because the run's going to end up being a little bit longer. Please just let me find this boss fight. All right, we found our boss fight. HP is not looking super great. I'm going to probably skip the entirety of Cathedral if I can because I don't want the run to go super, super long today. But give me a Devil Deal with a Guppy piece. Then give me a good angel item next floor. And we'll save Eden's Soul. What the fuck even got me there? We'll save Eden's Soul for the chest floor. It's going to be a long Mom's Heart fight. Good. The more swirls you get in there, the better. Our damage stat is still, like, absolute trash. Damage and tears are both, like, a little bit terrible right now. I always kind of have, like, low DPS runs with this character, I feel like. Luckily, you're dead. We actually made the Hush timer somehow. Good Devil Deal giving us Abaddon and Sinister Sight. Take that. Leviathan. Okay. It's all looking a little bit better. How's our tears look? Purple looks fucking sick as hell. All right. Going on up. We get a revive from Stairway. Not super, super impactful. We can pop the Holy card, though, right off the bat here. Buy this as well. I did miss out on having a red portal right to the Isaac fight, but Stairway is obviously going to be more important. That we can take for now. I'm okay with that. And all right, it's time to go to Isaac. Okay, I bombed my way all the way to the boss fight, which was very nice because this floor was decently long and a little bit frustrating. I'm going to use the Punished Soul in this fight as well. Doesn't matter. We can't use that for anything important. We get a black heart out of this. Fantastic. We can pop this now and take this. All right, this should be a decently fast Isaac fight if everything goes mostly according to plan. Just keep stomping on all of these rifts here and get a bunch of Purgatory boys out there. Sneak on through, lovely. Bunch more of these out. You should be done within one cycle if I play my cards right. There we go, perfect. Eden's Soul is charged up. We get one last stairway, then the run is going to be over. What do you got for me? That's my question. Do these first. Nice, nice. Tonsil Stone is pretty irrelevant. This is also pretty irrelevant. This is going to be good for dealing extra damage. And you give me fitting. Pure Soul. All Sin mini-bosses have a chance to drop their Sin's Jewel. A ghost that will spawn. Okay. Nice. That's not that great. We'll take this. What do you do? Nothing? I think you're like spawning rifts below. Oh. I mentioned this item earlier. Okay. That's really cool. We have Anarchy now. A little bit too late in the run for that, but I didn't know those guys could drop, like, evil items like that. We can maybe get, like, some actual good Anarchy. If we get one Anarchy pop, I'm putting this bitch in the thumbnail. You cannot stop me. If we get one decent, like, Anarchy use, you guys cannot hold me down. I'm going to put it right in that fucking thumbnail. Like, watch this. Card, the sun. Pop it. Boom. Full mapping. The moon. We're already here. No big deal. It kind of, like, incentivizes me to go for a full clear. See, if I would have known we would have had Anarchy in the future, I would have just taken the Archy and gone for, like, an Anarchy run. An Anarchy run. You know what I mean there? Funny joke? Probably not that funny, actually. Or we can just go straight to our boss fight here. I mean, Anarchy's still, like, a very pivotal item in the run. We did, like, use Death Cert to get Stairway, which gave us Eden's Blessing, which we saved for so long to get up to here, only to have it not pay out and then have a random fucking beggar give us Anarchy, which I could have just taken in the first place and gotten, like, double Cricket's body or some shit. So, it's more of a taunting item here. It's more of a taunting one, but I think it still makes a difference in the run out of my enjoyment factor for sure. Although I will say the run did shape up by the end. We are doing decent damage here again. It's nothing too crazy. Watch this. It didn't work there. We get tears up though, which we also like really, really needed. Put a bomb up here. Come on, come on. How are you alive, dude? I'm putting a brimstone ball like directly on top of you. You gotta die. You're so close to death. Thank you. I gotta get Anarchy to pop once to put it in the thumbnail. I have to get it to pop at least once. Just a singular time, please. That was beautiful. That was a great bomb. Did absolutely nothing for us. I have 7 luck. Just drop me 1 chest and give me that coin flip chance. I've been missing a lot of my coin flips recently with the crooked penny and stuff like that. This means a lot to me. You can make this work. You can make a boy's dreams come true today. No chest. Okay, this room down here for sure. What is... Oh yeah, every enemy is random. That's the downside. I forgot. This would be huge to get doubled. Double glass crown. It popped once. We have actually cracked stats right now. This should be a pretty easy fight. Look at this. It all amounts to this. The singular anarchy pop. After waiting floors for stairway to be useful, we can end off the run. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the run and my commentary, a like and a comment goes a long way for a small channel like mine. In the meantime, though, I have been BD1P. Peace out and goodbye.